With all the advancements in fuel injection, not to mention the 70+ product lines that we've added under the Holley brand umbrella, some people may have forgotten that we actually still produce carburetors. After all, that's where Holley got its start back in 1903, and we're still going strong today. Here in Bowling Green, Kentucky is where we produce all sorts of carburetors, whether it's a 2300 2-barrel, our popular 4150 double pumper, or even the famous Holley Dominator. They're built right here. Follow along, and I'll show you how your Holley carburetor is built from start to finish. Raw main body blanks get loaded into our state-of-the-art CNC machines for precision drilling and machining. A variety of tasks are handled by this one machine. Orifices and passages are drilled, holes are tapped, and surfaces are faced. Once the CNC has completed this job, the parts are then unloaded and taken for a quick wash, an ultrasonic cleaning, and then blow dried before they move on to our assembly line and wait to be built up. The carburetor throttle bodies, metering blocks, and fuel bowls also go through similar machining processes before moving on for final assembly. Before we can assemble a carburetor, we first need to build up the individual components that make up the carb. This is done in individual cells by people specializing in their positions. Let's start with the fuel bowls. Fuel bowls control the carb's fuel delivery, and a lot of components go into building a fuel bowl. The process begins with the installation of the sight glass. It's then passed on so the fuel line fittings can be installed. After that, the fuel float is hung, followed by the installation and adjustment of the needle and seat. Finally, the accelerator pump is attached. Then the whole assembly is pressure tested for leaks before it moves down the line and waits to be used by the main line. The next component is critical for idle control, and it also helps with the transition to wide open throttle. It's the metering block. Each metering block contains channels and precisely drilled holes, also known as emulsion circuits, for fuel and air to flow through. These passages are usually restricted with tiny bleed jets, and the orifice size of the jets used changes the air-fuel ratio of the carburetor. The metering block also contains the idle mixture screws. They control the air-fuel ratio of the idle circuit. To tune the air-fuel ratio at wide open throttle, we use a pair of main jets, which are screwed into the metering blocks. Our jets are precision broached in-house and undergo testing by our longest tenured employee, Patsy, who's been with Holley for nearly 53 years now. To complete the metering block buildup, we install a Holley power valve. A power valve improves part throttle drivability by adding fuel based on manifold vacuum. Our last major piece of the carburetor puzzle is the throttle body. The throttle body mounts to the carb's main body and provides a method to attach the carb to your intake manifold. Throttle bodies also house the throttle shafts and throttle plates, which open when the throttle lever is actuated, allowing air to flow through the venturis. There are several smaller components that may be used depending on the model of the carb. These include manual and electric choke mechanisms and vacuum canisters for use on vacuum-operated secondary style carburetors. Now we're ready to put all the pieces together. The buildup starts with the main body. Here it gets the boosters installed, followed by air bleeds and discharge nozzles. As the main body moves down the line, it gets engraved with a model number and build date for future identification. They'll also add smaller items like the choke assemblies and vacuum actuators for the vacuum secondaries if so equipped. Once these have been added, the main bodies then move down the line where the metering blocks and fuel bowls get attached. Next, the throttle plate is attached. And finally, we press the vent tubes into the main body. The completed carb now makes its way down the conveyor where the secondary idle air is set before it's placed on the flow bench conveyor belt. The carb is transported down the belt to the flow bench operators. And before we ship any of our carbs, they're wet flowed with mineral spirits to verify proper operation. The flow bench tests the CFM and fuel flow for each particular carb based on the master carb calibration numbers. It checks parameters at idle and wide open throttle, as well as various intervals in between. Benji, how long have you been working at Holley?
16 years.
I understand that your father also works here too?
Yep, 62 years. 62 years and 7 months.
And he's retired now?
He's retired now.
So you followed in your father's footsteps, huh?
Yep.
Once the carb passes the flow bench test, it gets placed back on the conveyor belt, where it makes its way to packaging. Then they're loaded into our warehouse before making its way to you. And that, my friends, is how we build race-winning carburetors. Holley has embraced the future, but we're also dedicated to preserving the past by building our race-winning carbs every day. If you'd like to learn more about our full line of carburetors, visit us at holley.com.